Hello everyone, welcome back to Low Inc. August 2020. I'm Astro, joined you again by Sky the Demon.
Hello.
And we're going to go ahead and get started with round 2. We have Splat Zones on I Don't Know Yet, but we have Twilight. we're finding out right now, don't worry. We have Splat Zones on New Albacore. And we have Twilight Anglers versus Boiz. Two interesting teams here. Boiz operating with one of the higher seeds in the tournament, though it's largely pretty much random.
Yeah.
And you can kind of tell because Twilight Anglers here are seed number 37, but they are a recurring team that's played in many past Low Inks and have had very strong results in past Low Inks as well. So it should definitely be an interesting set, and I guess we're going to have to find out exactly what happens.
Definitely.
So
Especially with Twilight Anglers being pretty up to par with Akuma, mainly because we scrim them very often. Kinda interesting to see how they do in this.
Absolutely, and we have some friends in Twilight Anglers as well that, Chess Piece, for instance, he's been around us for a long time, of course. So it's nice to see him on stream as well. And on the Boiz side of things, we have Ryoka, Kijo, Bunda, and Fruit Mix. Splat Zones, of course, like I was saying before, being a really slow mode. New Outdoor Hotel being an absolutely massive map. I mean, it's wide and it's open, and you have to go very far to really just go anywhere. And here we go. Interesting, the E-Leader coming out. And a Charger and a Blob.
And a Blob-Lobber.
Unorthodox comps. An Explosion as well on the side paired with an E-Leader. This is zones through and through, playing some very slow zones comps today. Double backline. This is old school. Old school.
Boiz is getting in there with taking the zone up first, but just because they have the zone first doesn't inherently mean that they're going to continue to take it.
Absolutely, and the first blood right here going to Twilight Anglers, but it's not going to play too much in their favor because immediately afterwards they go down. 3 down, 2 respawning right here in the first lead of the game.
And T-Bob gets taken out by the K-Shot here.
Yes, the first lead of the game going to Boiz, so they're playing very aggressively to open this match. Already down to 54. If I was Twilight Anglers right now, I'd say we have 40 seconds left to work with. This is plenty of time. We can just really gather ourselves and push together maybe 1 or 2 really large pushes, and the armor does come out right here. Oh, but unfortunately, the Jinger going down. That's 2 down on the side of Twilight Anglers, but not before they're able to stall zone. They might be able to make something out of this.
But then Boiz have popped Bubbles, and Bubbles helped them a lot to get that zone back.
Yeah,
we have the Junior over here trying really hard to double bomb and get the zone back for their team on Anglers over here. But it's not enough.
That's a very dominant early KO right here on the side of Boiz. So absolutely phenomenal showing. Guess it goes to show, seeding may have been largely random, but they definitely deserved their high seed. A little bit of a struggle on that match for the Charger as well in T-Bob. And that makes sense. On such a slow map, playing against an E-Leader, you just kind of start... I mean, you kind of have to start playing kind of like a Splatland, but you're not fast enough to do so. You can't just kind of scoot around the map and play around the Charger like you can with many other backline weapons. And it looks like Boiz is actually subbing in a new player, so we've got Red Link. So that large roster that you and I were talking about before this stream actually started, it really is coming into play. It looks like Boiz are actually making something out of it and subbing players in per map and per needs.
Oh, definitely. I think with such a big team such as Boiz, that might be a very big or very great idea for them, depending on what each of them are better at, depending on both mode and map-wise.
Absolutely, and we've got a another very slow mode here. Tower control on Sturgeon Shipyard, so that E-leader, they could absolutely just crank that thing out one more time, and if they don't feel like doing so, there's plenty of other options that they can really use to their advantage, but both teams clearly operating with a charger, so this is going to be one heck of a clash in mid. A Clash Blaster coming out.
And chess on Tetras.
Once again, we see a very slow comp on the side of Splat Boiz. You see the Dynamo and Splat Charger both coming out. You know, this is almost giving me little reminiscent thoughts of old Upgrade. Ooh, and the Charger coming in to save him right there. Looks like he's possibly just going to go ahead and get on the tower if he can just buy a little time.
It looks like here that Dynamo, or Red Lane that they just subbed in, is doing pretty well to push everybody back. And
absolutely.
Chess with Tetras.
Absolutely.
Gonna take this to try and make a push over here.
You know, so that's actually one thing. You have a very slow comp, but you still have to play objective very fast. A nice splashdown right there. Perfect timing for it. Gets a nice pick. His team's able to push
Armor
all
just
the way
getting
up.
popped, saving chess in this situation.
That's perfectly okay, because that's exactly what they're for. They're able to push halfway through the first checkpoint. Just stay on it for the Ray. Just get through the check, and they're going to. Just barely before the Ray can do anything. The Ray's not able to get any picks, so Twilight Angler's looking totally different.
On the backline over here.
And the Ray coming out right here, T-Bob popping it. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to be doing a whole lot with it. It's kind of a poor timing, poor positioning kind of deal where nobody really is able to even put themselves in the trajectory of that Stingray. But Twilight Anglers, despite that, is able to push forward very nicely all the way through the second checkpoint, and they are possibly going to push through to a KO. It's down to 5, but no, not before the Clash Blaster gets it, but no, they're not going to be able to do it.
No! Both teams are now tied 1-1.
Both winning with a dominant showing.
Very much so. This next match is going to be the big determiner of who wins this round.
You know what, I'd have to say maybe the Clash Blaster just wasn't a great pick right there. You see, not being able to pop any specials whatsoever, and that's part of why the Clash Blaster is a flawed weapon. It just cannot paint, and because it cannot paint, it can't charge specials. There's a lot more to painting and turf control and coverage than just laying down paint so you can have space to do what you want to do.
Next up, here we have Clamblets with Snapper Canal.
So our first really high-speed map
and
here.
They're subbing Kijo back in.
You know, I'm not remotely surprised by that. Kijo did incredibly well during the first match, and it showed in their results. So if I were them, I'd say, you know what, it worked the first time around. This is also a pretty large map. Let's do what we did the first time. That being said, I'd be surprised if Twilight Anglers did anything remotely close to their first match. If I was them, I'd say, you know, this is a fast enough mode that if we work both sides of the map really well and keep that pressure on, just disregarding any win condition that they could talk about, if they have the speed to do that, then they've got the basics down.
Definitely. And both of these teams have shown us that they both have their they can both dominate if they choose to. It's just a matter to see of who's able to dominate within this match.
You know, I've got a theory here. I believe that it's very possible that both of these teams excel on offense and struggle on defense. Because it looks like in both matches, once one team really had a push going, the match was over. And both teams coming out with actually much, much faster comps right here. The Bamboo is definitely going to play into the favor of Twilight Anglers against that Tenebrella. Some nice bomb support as well, so, you know, this is going to be a very difficult match, but Tent's still a very viable weapon. 2 down, though.
2 down. Tetris and their Bamboo over here. We have the Soda Slasher coming in over here, getting a pick off of Fruit Mix, and now Boiz is 2 down.
You know, and things can really just switch up on you just like that. You go 2 down, but you have a Slosher in the right place, and they go 2 down as well, and everything's right back even. Unfortunately, despite being right under their basket, the Slosher really wasn't able to make anything out of that and put a push together. A little bit of careful play right there by the Tetris. Nice pick, though.
Here. They take one and then end up getting... They get picked off by Bundo over there. And we have the Remix who just popped Booyah on the far left.
You know, this might be the longest neutral I've actually ever seen in a match. We see a flank on the far left, the Tetris saying, nope, I'm out. But, you know, we're almost a minute and a half into this match, and neither team has scored at all. 2 down, though, on the side of Twilight Anglers, and it looks like,
Ooh, and Bunda gets a pick off of Squid.
Absolutely, and Boiz really has something going here. 2 down on the side of Twilight Anglers once again.
Boiz makes the first pick by getting their first power clam in.
Absolutely. Just a few more clams in right there. Maybe make it worth the while. But this might be the lowest scoring Clam Blitz match I have seen in a very long time.
Oh. Twilight Anglers over here trying to take back control of their base and just in general underneath their basket to hopefully push them out to stop the bleeding over here.
Well, it looks like they're able to. You know, they eventually put a stop to that push, but not before Boiz was able to push all the way up to 50 points on the board. Oh, and a very important pick right there. So the armor going down is going to play very... Oh!
In the Bamboo getting that shot on the 10.
You know, I take that back. You know, the thing about Tenebrella is, like, its entire job is to hold your attention. Maybe not even get a pick on you, but just make sure that you cannot ignore it, because if you ignore it, you'll get punished for it. And getting such an important pick on the 10, punishing it for doing what it's supposed to do.
Twilight Anglers are going to make a push here.
Ooh. Oh, a nice double, too.
Bamboo's going to get 2 people and then go down to the spotlight.
Unfortunately, he focused a little bit too much on that pick. Had he just put a few of those clams in, he would have been able to make that push go just a little bit farther. And that's one of the major key differences that you find between, you know, really high-level teams and mid-level teams, and one of the key differences you find between mid-level teams and amateur-level teams is really just the way that they're able to play objective and play objective really, really fast to force somebody to have to focus kills on them. You know, oh! A nice bomb placement.
We have T-Bubble here with his Bamboo.
And one going down, the Bamboo actually going down right there as well. The tent forcing those 2 Twilight Anglers players here to really have to back up or just focus their energy somewhere else, and it pays off for them, but not before they go 2 down instead. So it looks like it's going to be a 3v2 right here with 40 seconds left in the match. Twilight Anglers has a power clam though, so they can possibly make something really big out of this if they're able to just gather themselves. But special advantage not in their favor.
Or they need to defend their own basket themselves. CDS is down.
And the tent down on the side of Boiz, so this could be very, very large, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like Twilight Anglers is able to capitalize on it too much.
And the NZAP's able to push in and get one down before going down to the TS.
Full wipe, though.
Ah.
So just a little too late.
It was a very good attempt at a push, regardless, though.
Absolutely, a very close match nonetheless. And on that note, we are going to end this set with a 2-1 victory for Boiz over Twilight Anglers. But, you know, it looked early on in the set like this would be very lopsided, but Twilight Anglers definitely showed why they've had strong results in Low Ink in the past, and they put up quite a bit of a fight. Chess Piece really putting in some works on those Tetras, but, you know, the props has to go to Boiz right here for a very well-played set and a very well-played last match.
Definitely.
On that note, though, we are going to go ahead and go to a break again soon, so we'll be back with you guys for set 3. Stay with us.